and Mr. G.
Getting the most out of documents in a DBQ is like getting the Infinity Stones in the Marvel superhero franchise. They can be tough to get, but once you get them all, you feel incredibly powerful. In the context of a DBQ, you must always obtain the document's tesseract and ether to determine where to put the document and what's the document's own reality. After that, you are left with 4 stones, the power, soul, mind, and time stones. It's always a good idea to use 2 of these 4 POV Preconia stones to double your chances of getting the analysis point for the document. But, after this video, you'll be able to get all 4, and then you are inevitable. The document we're going to be examining in this video is a citizen's petition. Through these tips, you'll be able to give it the snap with all the Infinity Stones you're going to earn. Now be careful, young historical Avenger. Just like the Infinity Stones themselves, these document tips are merely tools to help you accomplish your goal. You have to determine how to use them in your paper. Will you give CollegeBoard the snap, or will you snap yourself out of existence? It's up to you. But we have other videos on this channel to help you also. Step 1. Achieving the Space Stone. Placing your document in the right spot of your DBQ. Much like the Tesseract can move people to where you want them to go, you must assign the right Persia factors to your doc so they can be moved to the right body paragraphs whose Persia factors best match your thesis. The good news is, if you know what the document is by looking at the citation, sometimes the Persia factors are already given away. So since this document is a petition, politics are at the top of the list, always. You can also mention social factors because it's discussing the social and cultural relations between the colonists and Great Britain.
The Tesseract is ours. We now know where to place the document. Now let's control its reality.
The reality stone, supporting your argument with the right kind of evidence from the document. Every document exists in its own reality, and has pieces of evidence that can be used as ammunition to defeat the prompt in the DBQ. To achieve the reality stone in your quest to inevitably vanquish the DBQ, you must take a look at the prompt you are given, then at the document. Then you think about details from the document that can be used in answering the prompt. Now, this is really important because you won't get any points if you directly quote from the document. Instead, you explain certain details from the document in your own words which could be used to answer the main question in the prompt. If you do that 3 times with 3 different documents, you get 1 point. You do it for 4, you get double points. Because the prompt is asking how the relationship between Britain and her colonies broke down, this document answers the prompt by showing that the Americans are trying to bring peace by kissing up to the King of England and asking him to fix the unpopular taxes. Spoiler alert, he won't.
Now that we can describe this document, we control its reality. Now let's harness its power.
The Power Stone. How to analyze the point of view of a document. Just like the Power Stone, some historical documents have the power to destroy entire worlds, or at least certain Persia factors. What you need to do to uncover the Power Stone of each document is to ask yourself 2 questions. What is the issue the document is addressing, and what is the author's opinion on the issue? Make sure you use certain details in answering each of those questions. If you absolutely have to, you can quote 1 to 2 words from the document, but not entire phrases or sentences. As far as this document is concerned, the issue is the relationship between Britain and her colonies, and the authors of this document, the Continental Congress, want to stay part of the British Empire. They're arguing that both sides benefit more if they stay together. These are the same people that are going to declare independence and commit treason in a year.
The power of point of view is now ours to command. Now let's control the document's soul.
The Soul Stone. Discovering a document's purpose. Now don't worry, it's okay. In your quest to get this Soul Stone, you don't need to sacrifice something you love. All you need to do is answer 1 question. Why does this document exist? In your answer, it's always a good idea to gear your document's answer towards a Persia factor. For example, to create new laws, or to promote the inclusion of an excluded group. It's also a great idea to pair purpose up with another infinity stone, like point of view, context, or intended audience. If you can use all 4 Pov-Praconia factors correctly, you control all aspects of the document and become inevitably powerful. This document was written as a peaceful protest to ask the British government to reform unpopular taxes so they can stay loyal subjects of the Empire. Those poor patriots.
By determining the purpose of a document, we control its very soul. Do the bell.
The Mind Stone. Determining a document's intended audience. Just like the Mind Stone, every historical document has the goal of influencing other people to get them to do a certain task. When determining the document's intended audience, you must ask yourself these 2 questions. Who is supposed to read this document, and why? There are 2 tricks you can use to answering these questions. The first is to look at the citation and determine what kind of document it is. Depending on what kind of document it is, the intended audience might be given away just in that statement. The second is to pair your intended audience analysis to your analysis for the document's purpose. If you can explain that the intended audience is a specific person or group by pairing it back to the reason why it was written, both attempts for intended audience and purpose get stronger. The one person on planet Earth who is supposed to read this document is undoubtedly King George III. We can tell this based on the numerous references to His Majesty. And we can tie it back to purpose because they want the king to use his authority to get rid of unpopular taxes, thereby fixing the relationship the colonists have with Great Britain.
With the Mind Stone in our possession, we can control the document's intended audience. Now let's place it in time.
The Time Stone. Isolating a document's context. Now, this Infinity Stone tends to be harder to achieve than others, yes, even the Soul Stone, because when you're trying to achieve the Time Stone, you're answering this question. What is the document's relationship with major events? Depending on what the document is saying or showing, you might find clues that this document was written before, during, or after a major event based on what is mentioned or not mentioned. In other cases, the kind of document it is gives away context in the citation. The strongest relationship this document has with major events is that it was written almost exactly 1 year before the Declaration of Independence was signed. In 1 year's time, the colonies will go from kissing up to the British government to committing treason and declaring independence. You can also connect this to the Patrick Henry document because it is proof positive that the Continental Congress did not listen to him. Hello again. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you are a teacher, resources for this topic and so many others can be available on my Teachers Pay Teacher store, Sci-Fi High School. And if you like this video, take a look at the channel. In addition to APUSH history stuff, we got stuff on psychology, creative writing, Hawaiian history, and a lot more in the future. So with that said, live long and prosper, e malama pono, and see you next time.